What's up, my dudes, and welcome back to Matho La Helpo Online. In this episode, we're doing nth term quadratics. The n in nth term is the position of the number. So if it is the first number in the sequence, then it is 1. The second number is 2, and so on. To make it a quadratic, n has to be squared, which means you square the position. Let's see this in a sequence. Let's take n squared. The numbers in the sequence are 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. As we can see, all these are squared numbers. So when the number before n is 1, the numbers in sequence are squared numbers. Unless you have more to the nth term, for instance, if it is a plus an integer, then the term is plus or minus the integer. Let's take 2m plus 1. Simple. The sequence is 2, 5, 10, 17, and 26. Okay, so that's pretty basic. What if, as well as that, you have plus or minus some amount of n on top of that? Let's take n squared plus n plus 1. This is a little harder, so what you should do is make a grid like this. The first line is to show the position, the second line is to show the position squared, and times whatever it is. We'll get to that later. The third line is to add the position times whatever. The fourth line is to add the integer, and the last line is for the numbers in the sequence. You add the numbers above to find this number, except the first line. So the sequence for n squared plus n plus 1 is 3, 7, 13, 21, and 31. Next, let's talk about if the number before n squared is not 1. Let's take 2n squared. Because of BIDMAS, you do the indices first. So you square it first. And of course, we know that that makes 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. So what you do is double it to make it 2, 8, 18, 32, and 50. The number before the n is simply times the position by that number. That's how to find a sequence from an nth term. But what if you want to find the nth term from a sequence? Let's take the sequence 0, 11, 28, 51, and 81. No walk in the park. Let's start with finding the difference between the numbers. Draw arrows between them and write numbers next to them like this. The numbers you write are the difference. Good. Now let's write the difference of the difference like this. As we can see, it's 6. And the way you find the number before n squared is you half that. So you half the difference by of the difference to find the number before n squared. So you have 3n squared. Next, you have to find the sequence that 3n squared makes. The sequence is 3, 12, 27, 48, and 75. You only really need 3 of these numbers. Next, you can compare it to the original sequence, like this. Then you find the difference in the sequence. As we can see, the difference changes, so we know it has a plus or minus n. If you find the numbers before it, you look at how much the difference changes. So as we can see, the difference is 2 plus. So the nth term has to have plus 2n in it. Next, find the integer. To find it, you first have to take away the number before n from the first difference. This is minus 3 minus 2, which equals minus 5. Let's bring this together and get the answer 3n squared plus 2n minus 5. That's all for this episode of Maths Help Online. Stay tuned for more maths videos and stay, swifty.